Oh my goodness gracious! So we're finally stopped. We're sitting down. Man, I know, Jennifer. You've been. We looked at a lot today.
Yeah, it's almost like you guys are competing to see who will sell me the property first.
Nah, nothing like that. Nothing going on.
ShamWow.
No, nothing like that.
I don't think so. No, really, I think that yeah, it's time to take 5 and sort of. Now let's get your. We looked, we showed. Now let's get your feedback on just everything that you experienced today.
Well, I do have some questions for you.
Okay. Yeah.
So some of the properties you showed me were on the beach, some were on the bay. What are the pros and cons of living on the bay versus the beach? Which is better?
Well, that's a great question, and it's a fair question. It's really not necessarily which one is better or which one is not. It's going to be which one's better for you. We always have a saying where it's, you can always go to the beach. People always go to the beach, but no one ever goes to the bay.
You have to be invited to the bay.
You have to be invited to the bay. So with that, it's probably more of a lifestyle choice for you and what you think is more of what you're into, where the bay's a little bit of a quieter side. It's a little bit more of a personal side. Ocean is very public, obviously. So what do you think? Which one do you kind of prefer?
I don't know if I'm going to be able, if you're going to be able to top the experience of going to Cape May and seeing those dolphins on that raw beach. That was just, I think maybe I'm more of a bay girl. But what I would like to know is, could you break down for me, like neighborhood by neighborhood, the pros and cons of each of the areas, just as far as nightlife,
Sure.
Yeah, anything like that.
Well, I think that whenever it's different from town to town. I mean, you can take Ocean City, and you can take Wildwood Crest. They're both dry towns. So while you have your eateries and restaurants and stuff like that, there's no liquor served. We had lunch today at Crest Tavern. That's in Lower Township, Diamond Beach. So they're able to, while you feel like you're in the Crest, you're not. You're in Diamond Beach. So you're able to have an adult beverage if you choose to. I think when you get into, Sea Isle, North Wildwood, restaurants, bars, outside, dining. I mean, Avalon, Stone Harbor, they all have that. Cape May. So there's just different nuances about each town that, Ocean City's been dry forever, as is the Crest. So I think when it comes to like nightlife and things like that, they all have their niches. I mean, Ocean City has the boardwalk, Wildwood has the boardwalk, Sea Isle has the promenade. So it's, they're all different in that perspective as well when it comes to just activities and things you're going to be able to do in each town. And then also you flip that the other way to the off season. What towns have more going on in the off season than the others?
Which does? Which do?
My goodness, I would say probably Cape May, the Wildwoods definitely have more going on in the off season, like the winter months, than say Avalon, Stone Harbor, Sea Isle, Ocean City. There's stuff going on in those towns, maybe not as, like Ocean City's probably right behind, Cape May and the Wildwoods. But then you have to go out, you go out to Summers Point, Margate Long, Ventnor for dinner and stuff like that if you're on the north side of the county. So
yeah, I agree. I think it
depends on what you want.
Yeah, it really depends on what you're looking for.
For sure.
I gotta get my notes out.
It's all right. That's why they were,
That's why we take
you
them.
look at all those
there.
properties. That's what you have, right? Exactly. They all start to bleed together.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, mine are the best, but
Now you already covered this, but we're gonna do it in this calmer setting. So, I've noticed that real estate fluctuates a lot. The market fluctuates a lot in winter versus summer. There's more houses on more house listings in the summer. Is it better for me to buy in the summer versus winter? Will I get more for my money if I buy in the winter?
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily that you're going to get more for your money in the winter. It's going to, again, boil down to what you're looking to accomplish with your purchase. So if it's something if you want to use a property as for like a summer rental property, then purchasing in the winter, early spring is going to be probably the ideal time for you, because then you're going to be able to prep the property for summer to get it ready. You run into situations where if you want to use it for yourself and you want it for the summer, well, again, that's going to be in early spring. Some of the best weather and the best time spent at the shore nowadays is actually in the month of September into early October. And you have that because the kids have gone back to school, the kids have gone back to college. You know, people's vacation times are pretty much over, and the water in the ocean is at its warmest temperature. Everything in the towns is still open, but you don't have the people. So you may want to be using it in the fall. So for you to wait is not necessarily the right time. But at the same time, in the winter time, there's still going to be homes that are listed for sale. So it really there's no right time over another. It's going to be what's your usage going to be? What's your thought process? What's your timing? And honestly, it's about you, and when you find the right property for you, then that's the right time, regardless of the calendar.
Controversial question here. I'm from Indiana. Most of the people, when they retire and buy a beach house, buy in Florida. Or some go to North or South Carolina. Didn't you say your property's in North Carolina?
Yep.
Why should I buy here over those places?
Oh, why shouldn't you? I mean, I think it becomes, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, like, I think that, the mid-Atlantic, especially like our, Atlantic, Cape May County, like, you probably have some of the best beaches here. I mean, the water is warmer, it's not, you don't have to get into late July, early August for, you're going into the water and it's like, okay, this feels good, you can get, the water temperature now is probably in the mid to upper 60s. I mean, we're doing this now, we're 2 weeks out, from the 4th of July. As far as like the sand on the beach and things like that, like you really, there's rock, yes, but it's not like, oh my goodness, you go up into like the New England area. It's like rocky beaches. That's what you have there. So I think that just from a beach perspective, we have some of the best beaches, and like the intercoastals. I mean, you can literally go. We were talking before. You can go from Atlantic City all the way down to Cape May, through the back bays, through the intercoastal, through the channels. You get your tides right and stuff like that. I mean, there's just no other place. And being in a proximity to where you are from New York, Philadelphia, Maryland, Delaware, like it's just, you're out like that 3 hour, 3.5, I mean, not Philadelphia, but like, North Jersey, Maryland, like you're like a 3.5 hour window to be here, So I can't, I had property here for a long, long time. Just decided to go someplace else,
I'm from Southern California.
Yes.
And I remember the first time I ever saw the Atlantic Ocean, I was so underwhelmed because there was like about 20 feet of sand from the parking lot to the water's edge. But here, I mean, these are real beaches.
That's right. And that's to me is one of the best differences when you look at, as Joe mentioned, yes, you go north, it's a lot of rock. The water's extremely cold up north. When you look at these beaches here, they're sandy beaches and they're wide. And there's some beaches that are much wider than others. I mean, Wildwood, it feels like it's forever, but there's plenty of room for everybody. There's a lot that goes on these beaches. The Country Music Festival has a big concert on the beach. You have the Jeep Festival on the beach. They have the dunes all set up. So there's a lot of things that you can do with that, which allows for the entertainment value, not just the beach value and the sun value, where you can't necessarily do that in other areas. And so I think that when you start looking at it, even from town to town to town, this area offers some of just the best beaches on the eastern corridor, not just one specific town. It's this
Right.
entire county has some of the best beaches. And there's a few up north, Atlantic, Margate and those guys, they have great beaches too, and they have a different lifestyle than theirs. Restaurants right up on the beach. And I would include them in that mix.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Was there a property we saw where your office is, like here?
We haven't seen one in Ocean City yet.
Okay. Okay, so I've got a lot of grandkids that I want to come visit me, and I want there to be plenty of attractions for young families. Can you tell me about some areas that would be good for that?
Yeah, well, no doubt. I mean, I think depending on, you said they're young kids, and that's one of the biggest attractions to Ocean City, is because it has the boardwalk, so it has all of that activity, the water parks, the mini golfs, all of that stuff here. And, as Joe mentioned, it's a dry town, so there's no alcohol served in town. So people feel very safe and very secure in that environment and in that atmosphere. And another one would be the Wildwoods.
Yeah, I mean, I think the same. When you're talking about activities, things to do, that there's no lack of for. Sometimes even when you'll talk to past clients or just current clients, like, well, I don't necessarily want to be that close to the boardwalk because I don't want to be up there every day. I know my kids would want to be up there every day, so you kind of have that, a little bit of give and take with. All right, there's going to be this ability for them to have entertainment besides just going to the beach, or it's a cloudy day. Now what do? I'm not going to the beach today because it's kind of it's a little damp or something. You get those days in July. It's like, what am I going to do? You run your kids up to your kids run up to the boardwalk and they're up there all day. So I think that is one town better than another town? I think depending on who you sit down and talk to, someone's going to say, nope, this town's better than that. Nope, my town's better than that. Nope, it's no different than a professional football, baseball, baseball. It's like, my team's better than yours. My town's better than yours. Like, that's the way that it is. But they all have some sort of a uniqueness to them that it just makes them all great, and it just really, it kind of depends on where you want to be. And at the end, it all comes down to what you want. Where do you want to be in perspective, maybe to where you live, your proximity? How long is it going to take me to get there?
Plus, I think when you look at some of the towns, like they all offer like little things. Like we talked about, one of the towns was Summers Point that has like the Friday night beach concerts. Well, in Seattle City, you have the outdoor stage, right? And they have they have music out. They have music there every week, and in that same area, they also have the farmers market comes in, right, every week. So there's a lot happening there. So there's a lot of those type of activities that go on in that town. They all have like the pickleball courts. They all have basketball courts. So they're making sure that they're paying real attention to everybody as much as possible, right? What can we put into it? Seattle City just built a whole brand new big civic center.
Yeah. I think like with Wildwood, I think every town has a farmers market. I think they like Wildwood, down on Montgomery Avenue, down in that which is down by the convention center. I mean, the Wildwood Convention Center has hosted, everything from
Globetrotters
Globetrotters and marching band competitions to wrestling, like the WWF, WWE, whatever. Like they're there, so there's always things going on there as well. So I think you really. Again, they all have something that they offer you.
What do you guys do in the winter time around here?
Sleep. No.
We drive freely up and down because the lights are blinking, so we enjoy that.
Oh, do you locals must kind of love when the season's over, right?
Yes, most certainly do.
I think it's sometime in mid-October, and the lights go blinking. They go, flashing yellow, and then all of a sudden it's like May 1st, and it's always Chris has an expression: drive to the lights. Yeah. Don't go to a stop sign because you'll never get across the street.
Yeah.
Go to a light, wait for the light to change, and then you can go your turn.
But But I mean, you asked what we do in the winter. I mean, here, again, they're not the sleepy shore towns that they used to be. So there's really, it's no different than anywhere you'd want to be. One of the beautiful things where we are is that you do have Atlantic City right nearby. So you have all of that entertainment, the shows, the concerts, and the performances that they put on over there. But even all the towns themselves, they're not, it's not dormant like it was 30 years ago.
There's not tumbleweeds going on.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't expect July in January, but it's not a ghost town either.
Yeah.
How long is the drive from here to downtown Manhattan?
I think you're a little bit over 3 hours, 3.5 hours up the Parkway.
Okay.
Most people I talk to, they come
You can get to the
from-
tunnel in 2. It's the hour and a half through the tunnel it takes
Yeah.
to then get to downtown Manhattan.
Yeah, and depending on which way, if you're taking a Tappan Zee when you're in like the Hudson area, or if you're going towards like Staten Island, things of that nature. Most people tell me it's about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Brunswick, North Jersey, up in there. But I'm gonna say it's an easy ride. You're not going through a tremendous amount of back. I mean, you jump on the Parkway or you jump on the Turnpike, and you head south. Going home, you head north. From Philadelphia, you make your way, you get to one of the bridges, you come over, and most people, not everybody, they take the Atlantic City Expressway to the Garden State Parkway. Now, the other, alternative is they take Route 50. They come over one of the bridges and they take Route 50. So it is pretty direct. I mean, are there side roads and back roads? Sure, yep, there are. But those are the most direct ways. And some people, when they're like, we were in Cape May, so if you're in the southern end of the county, and let's say you're in Delaware, Maryland, you can take the ferry.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, you can just down.
And that's all year.
That's year round.
That's
Book yourself
yeah,
a-
I do
Depends on
that.
weather.
On the ferry. Yeah, depends on weather, but push it down.
Do you drive your car on that
Yep.
ferry?
Yes.
Car on the ferry.
That's so great.
Come straight across. Yeah.
Great
Oh
option.
yeah.
Yes.
And it's great down there too, man. They've done a lot of work down that area. I mean, they have restaurant, they have some outside seating, and they have bands and stuff like that down there in the summertime too. That's a lot of fun there too.
I know you had an appointment. I don't want you to be late for it.
We're fine.
Okay. Are there any other points that we want to hit that I can ask in this
I think
context?
those were all great questions.
Okay.
No, I think that's good.
I
We
learned so much.
gotta tie up the narrative, so something.
Oh
like-
yeah, I'll say you guys have given me so much great information. I'm gonna go home, discuss with my husband, and I'll be in touch.
Okay.
And then you guys can be like, she's gonna
Yeah,
back rub.
yeah.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Thank you so much for Ferzoco.
It was a great
Group.
time. I had a lot of fun.
You gave
Glad
me
we
so
could help
much
out.
good information.
That's good.
Yes, you were so helpful.
Yeah,
I will
Thank
go
you so
home,
much.
discuss
Thank you.
with
Yes.
my husband, and I will
Okay.
be in touch.
All right.
Just-
Very
you-
good.
You got my cell, so you can call me. Appreciate that. All right. Have a great one.
Keep trying. She's still gonna buy my
No
listing.
way, dude.
Oh,
She is
yeah.
all over mine.
She loved
No,
that property.
no. You heard her. If my husband was here, he would put an
Yeah.
offer on this one.